when you get inside the vortex, everything that you want, and even that which you cannot define with any sense of articulation, is available to you, because you have been putting the components of the things that you prefer and the things that you like into your vortex incrementally over a long period of time. And so this becoming of you, this is the point that we so want you to hear. You have been in the process of creating a vibrational version of you. Now hear this. You think you're creating the car. You are. You think you're creating the financial empire. You are. But what you really are creating is the vibrational version of you. A joyful, intelligent, willing, eager, full of life being. You are the creator of you. And then when you pay attention to your emotions and you shy away from prickly thoughts and you wrap your arms around good feeling thoughts, you focus will yourself into alignment. You praise as often as you can. You are consciously aware of your vibrational proximity to this vibrational version of you. You bring yourself, the physical, thinking, brain person. You bring this physical, flesh, blood, and bone, thinking, focused person into vibrational alignment with this source energy version of you, which you have been creating, which is the reason that you exist. You are the creator of the vibrational version of you. When you then, by paying attention to the way you feel, bring yourself into the vortex again and again and align with the fullness of who you are, then that part of you gets to play with you in traffic, as you take pictures, as you put your nose on, as you play with one another. When the whole of you is playing with you, you recognize it. You say, that is a master on the piano. That is a master artist. This is a master chemist. This is a master mathematician. Those beings are physical beings, yes, who have toned themselves into the full version of who they are. And we just want you to know, perhaps it should have been on the disclaimer that you signed when you came in. Now you know too much, you can't go back. Once you know about this vibrational version of you, then you understand the pull that negative emotion is. Then you understand the tugging that simply means you've become this and you're not being it. When you're mad at someone, you're not who you are, because this part of you loves under all conditions. This part of you has the ability to decipher and focus upon any particle of the universe and to discover something lovable every single time. And when you easily hate or easily are annoyed, you are pulling yourself apart. And every negative emotion you feel is about your separation. Too strong a word, but your tugging, your attempted separation from who you are. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. You know what's important to us. What's important to us is that you understand who you are. What's important to us is that you begin to recognize that over here in this vibrational reality is the you that we've been focused upon, the you that we know, the you that is really you, the you that is the only you worth mentioning, the you that is you. Did you get that? And that as you are here in these physical bodies, everything about you in these bodies is about the expansion of that. And then the alignment with that, you see. You see? What do you want to talk about? Some things. So we just want you to know that once you understand these laws of the universe, that once you understand what your emotions mean, once you understand that your emotions are your indicator of your proximity to this vortex of creation that is really you, it is our expectation that you are going to become someone who so wants to be in the vortex that you are willing to let go of all that nitpicking out of the vortex conversation that just wastes time, really. You never sort anything out. Did you know that 100% of politics is outside the vortex? In other words, they're doing good work in the sense that they're doing step one work. In other words, step one, contrast helps you to ask. That's step one. Step two is source takes that rocket of desire and runs with it and holds it and becomes it and beams it steadily. And step 3 is you catch a whiff of the beam and move yourself into vibrational alignment with it. In other words, everything is about your proximity to your vortex. So sometimes people talk about faith. They have faith that something that they haven't seen happen will happen. And we say the true definition of faith is the understanding of the laws of the universe, understanding that your source stands in complete compliance and becoming of the expanded version of you. And when you understand the reality of that, and you pay attention to the way you feel, you can trust that anything that you want will be. Then it's just a matter of discipline. Then it's just a matter of directing your mind. Esther got on a sort of rampage where she was basking her way to sleep every night and then awakening in the morning and coming back into basking and appreciating and then moving right into some focus wheels, which we'll talk about here today, which cleaned up some random screwy vibration. And then she'd go into a list of positive aspects and off into a rampage of appreciation. And she was just tuning herself into the vortex deliberately, getting into the vortex, which simply means releasing any thought that would hold her out. That's all that being in the vortex means. It's cleaning up your vibration, ridding yourself of resistant thought that holds you out of the vortex. And then she began to notice that life from inside the vortex. First she began to say to Jerry, I had no idea how often I was not in the vortex until I got in and really felt what it feels like. From inside the vortex, there is a clarity and a feeling of well-being. It's like being soothed. It's like knowing the all is wellness. It makes things that have loomed large seem nitpicking and unimportant, while the well-being is what radiates. And so, as they find themselves, by deliberate focus, more and more often inside the vortex, then the universe can play the game of cooperative components from inside the vortex. In other words, imagine being vibrationally inside your vortex and therefore emotionally soaring with fun and frisky and thrill and love, and moving around your physical planet under those conditions. Do you have any idea how many cooperative components there are moving through your freeways, moving on your highways, moving around you at all times, who are also in the vortex, that when you are in the vortex and they rendezvous with you, the sublime interaction, the successful interaction, the profitable interaction, the well-being interaction. In other words, you just want to get in the vortex. We know you do. You may not know it in the way that we know it, but once you get in there and feel the fullness of your life just a little bit, you're never going to be satisfied not being deliberately and consciously inside the vortex again. As Jerry and Esther were driving down from Oregon, they're driving down the freeway and they're approaching the city of San Francisco, and the traffic is beginning to slow. And Jerry and Esther, it is the most beautiful day, and Esther has been trying to take pictures while she's driving because she did not want to bother Jerry. But then she realized that he really should wake up from his nap and see what she was seeing, because it was so beautiful. And so now Jerry is beginning to take pictures, and Esther is still taking pictures because she likes to take pictures while she is driving. And the traffic is moving very slowly, and suddenly they realize that there is a car moving very slowly alongside of them, and there is a camera right up, and he is taking a picture. And then the car moved in front, and he is taking another picture. And Esther said, he must know us. And so Esther smiled in the windshield for him, wanting to be the cooperative component that she is. In other words, all of this fun. And then the man turned his profile to them while he is driving, and he's going this way with his nose. And Jerry says, I think he wants us to put on our clown noses. And so they did. They put on their clown noses and got their faces up to the window. And Esther said, There is something so delicious about being in the vortex. You have to be in there to know. You have to be in there to feel. In other words, the universe is so good at the coordination of things, the arrangement of things, the cooperative components of things. The fact that the traffic was moving so slow. They played with this man. He had an official vehicle too. He had a whirligig on the top where he could actually slow traffic if he wanted to. And now, you may be hearing the word you, because you are the one who wants and you are the one who doubts. Or you are the one who wants and you are the one who believes. You are the one who focuses on what you want and you are the one who may be focused in opposition, but you are the one. You are the only one who can decide what you want and you are the only one who can thwart it. Often you say, oh, no, it is not me thwarting this desire. It's the economy. And we say, but it's your focus upon the economy. It's your attention to the downside of things that causes you to keep active in your vibration contradiction. Now, before any of this makes sense to you, you have to remember that you are a vibrational being. And most physical humans don't remember that because you are so good at being vibrational beings, so good at interpreting vibration. You think you're flesh, blood, and bone. You think you're human. You think you're material in the sense that others can see you and touch you and recognize you and hear you. But you are a vibrational being, and everything that you know as your fully manifested life experience is an extension of that vibration. And if you will take the time to recognize the vibrational nature of you and reflect on the origin of the signal that is you, and then recognize the power of the vibration of your each and every thought, and then use your emotional guidance system just as you intended to understand the frequency of the thought that's active within you in any point in time, you can, in a very short order of time, work the bugs out of your vibration resistant thought. When you focus on anything, you activate the vibration of that within you. But the thing that is throwing many of our physical friends, the thing that makes it, in the beginning at least, a little bit confusing, is that every subject is really two subjects. So often, when you think you're thinking about the relationship you want, because you're thinking about a partner, you're thinking about love, you're thinking about maybe homemaking, maybe family. Since the subject of relationships is really two subjects, what is wanted and lack of it, sometimes when you think you're thinking about the relationship you want, you're actually thinking about the opposite of it. You're thinking about the absence of the relationship you want. Sometimes when you would swear that you have been thinking about the money and the progress in your business that you want, you've not been doing that. You've been thinking about the absence of the money you want and the absence of the progress in your business. Often you don't even realize you're doing it if you're thinking about thinking. If you're only thinking about the thought you're thinking, then we can see how the subject of relationships is a broad subject. It goes all the way from having one to not having one, to having a good one to having a bad one. Just like having all the money you want, all the money you want, all the money you want. Not having enough money. Sounds like the same subject. But you have to realize that the way you feel while you're thinking the thought is the indicator about whether you are in alignment with what you want or not. There's another thing that often throws our physical friends, and that is often when you are considering something that you want, you're considering it or attempting to through the lens of others who have it or want it. And we want you to understand that the only thing that you need to understand is your own relationship between how much you want it and what you're thinking about it right now in this moment.